intrigued by what I have heard of the group. So as we begin recording, I will ask Tricia just to say a little bit about what is this group and how did it happen?
I'm actually going to hand that over to our COO, sort of,
Okay.
who is Lacan.
Okay.
Lacan, please unmute. Thank you.
Hi. I love you, Finn. Well, Partake Global Network is actually a UK registered. As you can, I can hear the cat. She agrees.
Yes.
So it is a UK registered poetry company, and it also a publishing house. And it started back in 2021, and we host open mics, online open mics. We also have workshops. Of course, our dear chancellor is here for the Poetry Academy, Mark Fishbein. And basically what we wanted is to create not just a community, but to create programs where poets can express, can grow, and also discover who they are in this vast world. It is inclusive and also very, very forward-thinking. So thank you for having us for today.
Okay. And as I understand, there are going to be some presentations from the members of the Poetry Global Network. And I'd say just go ahead and whoever is going to introduce, and we'll just flow from there.
Okay, great. I will be doing that. It's great to always be back here at Benicia. I think started coming here back in I think late of 2021.
I think so.
Yeah, so it's great. I love the vibe here. So yeah. Anyway, so earlier this year we did launch our first publication called Kaleidoscope Poetry, and the people we'll be sharing today are the ones who are in the book, and it's an honor to be reading beside them today. So we are composed of poets from different parts of the world, from Japan to Mauritius to the UK, Canada, Singapore. And you can see that in the book, which is available on Amazon.com. Okay, so I'll start off with my poem. And since it is morning here in the Philippines, I would love to definitely start it with coffee. So I will be sharing screen, or as we say it in PGN. I'm going to fishbine it. It's called Beyond ATM. Coffee lay still on the offer to fill itself. More than the lid can tip my jaw to quicken the steps of fulfillment. Respect can also count the amount of effort to make a home from ground up. My mouth knows patience, like brewing every batch to catch the torrent like a filter. As my hand says, no, I know when it's enough. Greed can burn the beans like an overbrew of a desire. Everything has a limit. I know the smoke intimately, like a lover is due to be loved with the right temperature. Temper can spoil the palate. I hold my finger on my lips like a secret, held like a pensieve, to deceive. Love knows how to wait. Between moments of letting go of too much ego, the aroma will converse with you deeper than the scent of pride. Be humble when you listen to the water, boiling better than an anger of an excuse. To consume is to be consumed with the ignorance of an alibi. I don't get too excited. Beyond frustrations of drinking, less is more. It's in the depth, rest of the heart. It'll come soon. It's just not ready yet. No matter how much I want it, I'll take my time to let it steep the steep bliss. Preparing coffee is an art. I never rush to create. Restraint flows with compassion in a passion from stirring the process of respect. When a process in finding out every sip is different. Every gulp is an experience. Unique to a pouring memory, a constant consistency being found in every cup of coffee. Maraming salamat. Thank you.
Excellent. Salamat.
Happy caffeine moment to everyone who needs it.
Yes.
All right. Now, for the next one, we have our poet from the East Coast of the United States. And he is such a prolific experiment of poetry. So I'd love to introduce the next poet for today. We have Nick Palilogos.
Aw, that was such a great intro. Hello, everybody. It was great to hear your voice, Lacan. Great to hear the many, many voices that will be coming forth and everything. And great to be here. First time here. Hopefully not the last.
Yes.
Indeed. So I could babble on for days, but I'm just going to grab my mic like this and do 2 poems, and then we'll bring up the next one. This first one's in the PG anthology called Cleaning the Bones Out. I spent 12 hours of my life cleaning out the skeletons in my room. The closet was the last place I'd expect any clarity. Lots of memories here, lots of clothes that had fallen down. Disguises upon disguises of a former life. My room disappeared on me. I didn't recognize the glass floor I stood upon, or the 4 walls which were preyed upon. Clothes, plastic wrapping, tossed to the side like memories of the past buried in a trash compactor. A shoebox of X factors has thrown away. My past is my past, no matter the objects thrown away. That doesn't matter here. Not in that 12 hours. I toiled up and down stairwell after stairwell to throw it all away. A half-corp heave of dust balls. Vacuumed away, spiders left in dismay. All I wanted was a haven to call my own, to unload my troubles when I'm all alone. I didn't have this for years. I organized and sorted out the bullshit. A real change has happened today. I cleaned my room. I know it might not be a huge difference in your life. It made the world to me. I kicked my depression out for a day to clean it up. Go on and call me dirty. I resurrected myself above the glass which I stood upon, molded a new floor of wood and carpet with dressers to store my gear and books, tore down the bones of My walls fed the very ravenous decor with liberation. For in that moment, I felt like me, the one I've been waiting for
Mm.
since I was 14. All right.
Yes.
Figured I'd give you a little preview from the book and everything. And for this last one that I'll do for tonight, I'm going to do something from National Poetry Month because, 30 for 30s and all that other stuff and everything too as well. We're going to do this one right over here. If I could find that real quickly and everything. Here it is. It doesn't have a title, by the way. The taste of defeat is a stench that lingers on the tongue for a while. It won't be like the first time, like a yellow jacket sting, painful to the touch, a wrathful sun encapsule it. Brush it away all you want. It'll be there until victory's water is smelt. Its touch to the tongue be dealt with. The memory will still be there. A haunted reminder of loss. A stylish wallpaper cannot disguise the stench. It'll remain there. The memory remains. Victory isn't a cure for the plague. It's only a deference, a kick down the alleyway. Rush through the stages all you want. It won't be the end of it. You can accept it. Bruise the eagle, eat the humble pie. Don't brag about your victories. It'll taste bitter, like the last defeat. Accept what cannot be, and accept the next chance. It might be the last one. And that's all. And from me, we're going to go on to said Chancellor, Mark Fishbein.
Well, thank you. And thank you for that reading. Yeah, we do workshops on Sunday, every the first and third. We have an open mic on the second and the fourth called Bottoms Up. And our workshops are very diverse. We just did one on a foodie one. We do ekphrastic ones, the Enlightenment, all sorts of, we've done one on Rilke, on Rumi, and all the rest. And if you'd like to hear about these events and possibly come along, leave some information in the chat for me to get in touch with you, or we'll leave some information for you to get in touch with us. Thank you. So I'll read two from the book, and then some April poems. Les tulipes noires. They bloom when the sky is dense with stars, when the garden wakes from its abandoned winter, when the black night that covers the earth is misted in transparent light, when the grasses are asleep and deep breathing. The open fields rise through the land cloud, hovering on the horizon to an infinity of trees. They bloom when the grateful soil has its belly full of spring rain, and as they are released, they scream from the terror of birth in the full moon, condemned to carry the darkness which bears the energy of night. Rock Concert 2020. I hope I die before I get old. So said The Who in the song My Generation. As it turns out, I think they're all still alive, as am I. Here we are destined to nostalgia and aging skin, the mildew from years of sold-out living, the fevered time of revolution and worship to a rock band. Nothing turns out exactly as planned. The love generation, that was us. Love, baby, love, love, love. That word was printed on the ticket, so overused, so confused by the pampered lifestyles of lifelong stoners. The stage fills with pacemakers and voices groaning. Youth had its own beat, fresh, sexy, raw, and rough. Dirty jeans, a tie-dye tee, long hair was enough. Something was terribly wrong about the good manners we were raised with. Only the music mattered. I hear you singing along. Don't get old before you die. Just fade out like a baby boomer and sigh. Thank you. On to a couple of poems I wrote in April. This one is somewhat political. This book I published called the Reflections of the Time of Trumpius Maximus a couple of years ago. So I write some political poetry. Headlines in America 2023, all you need to know. Wife poisons husband with Drano. Trump pays off the queen of porno. Thousands boo a drag queen show. Mass murder is the status quo. Trains explode in Ohio. Tornadoes swirl in Idaho. The Bible Belt is anti-woke. Bitcoin bullshit. TikTok phone. Cancel culture meets Thoreau. West on fire. North too cold. Compassion at an all-time low. Common sense is on death row. Oh, oh, the evening news. Daily truth in psycho blues. I guess I have time for one more. And I suppose I'd like to read the last poem I wrote, which was on about the Earth Day, of course, and this was April 22nd. And it was this building in Chicago lit up with this sign: "Every day is Earth Day." Every day is Earth Day. Our mother should praise the ingenuity, industry, technology, superiority, that we salute and adore her this day, lighting up a tower of waffled metals and glass beyond the dreams from the Bibledoms of Babylon, offering our obligatory Hallmark card. She should be grateful that we grew, able to blast a bedrock, pour asphalts and tar, suck the foul black blood beneath her skin to build such mountains of steel Lego block in a transformation to serve robotic gods. We know Mother is wise beyond our years. She is not pleased and plans revenge. And her patience wanes with every birth as our population grows like weeds in a garden, each new soul in need of computerized, comforting. Every day the future hardens. It is said her plastic-filled womb will erupt to flood cities with oozy dunes from wild waves bringing plagues from the corpses of rotten fish. Every day she prepares to stink for millennia as gases from her bowels are spewed to an atmosphere of oily skin burning in rays of gray sunlight, the dead soil becoming hard skin. Alas, when that passes, we shall not be here, nor do we care. Our generation, this civilization, the engine of commerce cannot be repaired. Everything we earned would have to end. Cell phones and satellites to be banned, and we return to caves, till the land. Surely she is to blame who begot us brats, the species that won her primal scheme, building skyscrapers from sea to warming sea to celebrate with this electronic graffiti. Now we hunt for new planets to subdue. We children do what we must do. You gave too much, too soon. Every day is Earth Day, dear mother. We will always love you. Thank you. And thank you for that. And who's going to follow me? I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
David?
I'm
Oh, hi,
coming in.
Lakan.
Hello. Yeah, so thank you for that, Mark. And if you want to follow on the next workshops, please get in touch with Mark Fishman. So our next poet is somewhat of a resident also of Benicia Public Library, the one who invited me in this platform back in 2021. So I'll welcome Finn Bell.
Thanks so much, Lakan. Good evening, everybody. It is great to be here amongst my cohorts at the Poetry Global Network. I'm going to be sharing two poems. One of them, I believe, speaks to the theme for this month, which is World Community. So this is called A Small Grace. Come along now. Didn't you know yet we were going into this wide world field? We are picking wildflowers, shy child, in every shade and size we can find. We will not worry about names, hellos first, introductions later. Our arms will grow heavy but glad of the company, bright shining petals tickling our cheeks as we carry our finds home. We will spill our treasures upon the kitchen table, divide them into happy, laughing bouquets, tie our posies in ribbons, hopes tinted turquoise and gold. We will find serenity in the flurry of our grateful, nimble fingers. Once we have finished this afternoon's worthy quest, we will knock upon each door, preferring our humble beauties to all who greet us there. We will show our faces at every doorstep. We will not miss a single home. We will offer these blossoms if we have to rap to be heard twice. We will offer them to those who opened their arms to hold us close to them. We will offer them to those who wished us nothing but a life of ill luck. We will offer them to souls, though their hands were empty, their ears listened and heard. We will offer them to those not realizing their own plenty, who want more, have yet learned how to give. We will offer flowers to souls who love us with no bounds. We will offer flowers to souls who mean us constant harm. We will extend our arms out with our posies full of healing and amends until every single stem, leaf, and bud has left our amiable hands, till we have nothing left of ourselves save joy to surrender, and that too we release from within our hold gladly. And then I wanted to close with this relatively new poem. It is called Affinity, Sun, Moon, Burn, Heal. In turning toward the light of the good, steady sun, take the warmth of days along with you. Does anyone memorize the shape a shadow creates as it reinvents the contours of the darkness? I will ruffle the falling leaves, burrow my content in the tree's damp bark, consume the honeycomb whole. Plump bees will sound an echoing alarm, buzz, be the voice honeying my mouth. I will slow my breaths. My heart matches pace. Boom, 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 boom. My movements will become a dusk cover stillness. A saw-wet owl nests her small pebble shape on my skull, shivers and settles her plumage to vanish into my thistle hair, scolds the night, a last listless, do, do. And the starfire in her eyes retires. We do not call out to the daybreak. In our silence, we forget the peaks and valleys of his beloved face. There is a yawning nothingness forming in the sun's heart chakra. It bewilders if you stare too long. Or am I gazing at my own moon face, not knowing, yearning oracle eyes, milky blinded and seeking? I touch my fingertips to the horizon, a belief submerged root chakra deep, that day meets night, that night follows day, willful, unabashed, devoted. I turn toward the light of the good, steady sun, take the warmth of the days along with me.
That was wonderful, Finn. As always, very warm in the heart. So, which is a signature of dear Finn. And coming from a purveyor of platforms, Finn Bell, do catch Fincabulary every Thursdays on Eventbrite. And we'll go to another purveyor. And this one has Spoken World online and also part of PGN. So I'll welcome David Leo Sirwa.
Thank you so much, Lacan. I'm so proud to be a part of PGN. And just to let everyone know, I'm gratefully published in 24 countries in 12 languages. All right, so I'm going to share my screen. I just like to brag sometimes, I don't know. Share my screen, and I've got a poem exactly on theme, which, wouldn't you know, hold on, and under my mouth. All right, the Song of Solitude Community. One light and dark sky hovers everywhere to halo holy places and decrepit alike under crown jewel constellations scattered over the community of humanity, magnanimous kindness of quiet stars for all global locals connected by a web. Anonymous earth dwellers, monks, merchants, medics, married lovers who make time to dovetail their own fingers in solitary prayer that paints the air red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. I fell in love with the silence of the soul that brings warm human intuition and reason to their knees in the never doomed domed temple of midnight Paris, Prague, Istanbul, Mumbai, Rio, Boston, Montreal, and all cities, towns, villages on the omnipresent ground. Stage of the spoken world, changing face of earth. One light and dark sky hovers everywhere and pierces countless hearts of artists, open-minded midnight makers of scriptures, sculptures, pictures, symphonies that symbolize all human longing, feeling, seeking, wanting, prophesying the coming of greater inspiration still. In the company of saints and abundant, undaunted light, the well that gives to all is never empty, but forever replenished and replete with complete knowledge that slakes our thirst for light. We are waves of one unbounded sea of spirit electricity, which is causing a dance on the screen. I whispered into the well of the heart, met by minor echoes, resonance of a temporary rarity, contemporary sincerity. Passionate search for the blue pearl in the private sky of the mind, sacred jewel, summit of the spirit, culmination of all meditation that holds the whole cosmos illumined in its contemplation, being conscious bliss. I sang to the listening air of midnight melodic prayers and murmurs of discouragement that disappeared in a sequence of seconds, but were stored in the sacred record of everything ever said, sung, murmured, whispered, or simply held in the mind for one minute minute. I wanted to howl, but softly sang raw, off-key questions that dissolved in sunlight, breakfast, chants, and meditation, followed by phone calls to family, to pharmacies and family, plus electronic threads with prospective employers, while walled and windowed into snowstorm northern Maine morning, happily writing for nothing, obsessed with nothingness, and from time to time, looking for a living. Under the crested waves of frigid winds which populate the sky with pale crystals, I fell in love with the silence of the soul, though all night I'd intoned the echoed wisdom of weather from a radio speaker that repeated what I'd said into a lonely microphone tethered to towers that scattered my words to 500,000 satellite dish ears tuned in to practical prophecies for the closest tenants of the planet. Hello, fellow citizens of the world. There is poetry opening everywhere, myriad eyelids, panoramic vision that begins with the bandwidth of our own outlook. As always, the voice appears in dreams and spills spirit secrets that do not dissolve in daylight. Love helps all the work get done. It's virtual heaven where the sudden survive. God is the only thing that's real and holds the whole dream. Just a jolt would change everything. A little bit of lightning is all you need. Light is might. He threw a window at the sun. Our global open secret, God in multicolored, many-splendored solitude, wears this world to clothe naked light in nature, weather, time, sky, and mind. Hard to see what is behind our eyes. There is light behind the mind, whose only words forever are, I am, I am, I am. Thanks a million for listening.
Thank you so much, David. And as always, you deliver such imagery. So thank you so much, David, for that. But definitely thank you to Benicia Public Library for hosting us today. Mary Susan Gast, thank you. And now going from David, we're going to go a bit enigmatic and a bit, how am I going to put it? Very soulful, actually. So I'll welcome Frog Corpse. Frog, are you with us? You're scrying.
I am now, yes. I have stopped packing. Hold on. I'll get you one. I heralded a call within the gloom-consuming tribes of sky, where silver waters wept, and then benign, eating away inside the future that flowered forth the seasons, bringing the peace to the waves to believe in, down a creek of lost fortitude, a fortress through the damning convictions that restricted the designs, that casted its scepter as a spear to cleave along Argarian tides, wafting in the Erebus page where the shadows lay to flame the base at Tartarus gates in the wafted ceilings. I stretch the motes to the sky, yet though below is all I see in the oblivion eye, through my iris plea that I click, keep clicking, click, 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 to capture the memories that remain, and oases of misery disdained, closed in the coffin, closed in the shame, walking, walking, walking more. Exhale to the breath of nevertheless. My iris cancered, my brain imploring. When passers-by pass through you, know you're not a ghost. They're looking over you because they think they're above you. How high can they get when they're so far underground? You hold the ladder and pour cement. I think their screams will harden as their hearts hammer words, but this coffin lid will keep their mouths closed. This town is a dust bowl burning along this night as I drink my sorrows down. Love waited for me clinging at the bottom of a bottle now, raising lips to poured for life, asking hero of his advice. I'd tell him I was dead before yesterday, and tomorrow I'll be buried twice. Take this, my boy, and run away, far away from the place which pains your mind. I need my medicine for today, so I can try not to lose my mind. I've dreamed the dreams worth dreaming that the world says are too big. But do you think your town's afraid that your dreams may someday live? I'm the realest fuck I know, and for less I could give a shit. And I wish I could pay you all back for the times that you would give. Thank you.
That was beautiful. Oh, there's something about a frog. I know it's a frog poem. So thank you so much, Frog. And from the enigmatic, we're going to fly from the United States back to the Philippines, but originally from Canada. So I'll welcome Squix.
Hello, everyone. Another rotation of our planet, wherever you all are. Thank you for having me here. I'm going to be reading 3 short poems in a trilogy I call Lion's Tooth. The second of which is in the book, our book, Kaleidoscope Poetry, available on Amazon. So please check it out. First piece it's about depression, and I call it Wait. This is a house built around a stone, midwife to a ghost. There is a whisper at the center where a seed refuses to grow. Sunlight reaches to give sleep to shadow and fails each day. Each staircase takes a year to climb, and your neck gets heavier along the way. The kitchen floor now rattles in consent to your weight. It will always be colder here than everywhere, because you do not know how to live here. You leave your keys in the door, and your skin will be broken before you realize the window has gone through it. You eat pain, and pain becomes flesh, stretching egg to mouth, revealing feet. Time heals wounds, but cleans nothing of your house. Every minute makes colder bones, coax disease out of you, and you haven't showered in months, wringing your being through days. Parts of you that couldn't reach will learn to make truth of lying down again, as dandelions get caught in spider's web. Wishes aren't granted, only forgotten. We are not what recognizes when they appear. Thank you. And second piece is from the book. It's called Creature. It's about lust. Let me grasp you before the fall settles, to be irreplaceable in this world. Let me contemplate the urgency of what might have been. As sinew sleep to compete with season, a rib cage dares to break open, vigor, secrets underfoot. Stay forever strange in my heart, that I may always wonder at some part of your mystery. Hold fast, wild and true, for all the times I didn't know you. Stay savage and in bloom. And I would be some creature nestled in the tall grass of your fields, stalking your forests, howling at your moon. Let us know each other this way, with eyes closed and mouths open, how in every tooth lives the promise of breaking flesh, and my teeth break that promise against your skin. The way claws caught the religion of fingertips, praying in pairs of palms pushing against each other, in gasps and grasps. And when I pounce, a panicked kaleidoscope takes flight in the flutter of your eyes, as I kiss you in the violence of a whisper, unwrapping a dandelion, seeding the sky for wishes. Thank you. And for my third one, it's called Nautilus, and, well, rather I call it Nautilus. It's about nostalgia. Throwing my feet to the top of the stairs, I planted outside and waited for me to grow. Tiptoed the heaviness of youthless sleep, counted petals and called it dream. But fingers could only swim so deep. Easter Sunday, every day. What I lost is a running faucet behind the only locked door in the house. If I be old here, shedding dust, my feathers will be new tomorrow. A child that was not born, named. From my knees, I bend to its shape. Such a small place to uncover forever, to fit in the palm of my tongue. This is what happens when love does not win. Tomorrow weighted by a desert's promise of spring, like the words I never said. So much of me is reaching, so much of me sleeps. I am the king of every country I reside not in. A dandelion seed upon an ocean, the moon tells ghost stories too. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Squigs. That was a wonder. And that closes our feature for today. And thank you so much. And please grab a copy if you can. It will be, I think one of the things that we have.
Here's what it looks like, by the way. Very good, very nice on a coffee table.
Yes, I do love the cover very, very much. The image provided by Finn, of course. You can catch it on Amazon, and the link is provided on the chat. And I think that there are only a few people that can help us writers, and one of them, well, we fellow writers can help each other. So thank you so much, Mary Susan Gatz and Benicia Public Library, and everyone here. Maraming salamat.
Okay, thank you all so much for being you and for bringing this community into this community. And we get that whole overlapping connection that is so marvelous. I really, really appreciate your being here. And individually, you are all welcome and invited to come back for future First Tuesdays, just as I'm sure there are those of the First Tuesday regulars who will be looking to join in with you. So we've enmeshed and we've grown.